Well, folks, it looks like Disney Plus has cannibalized Hulu, and now the ratings, they're dropping. Nielsen dropping new stats that you just have to see. Would you look at that? Bob Iger might have destroyed the best thing on streaming. Hulu losing, Disney Plus not rising, and now investors shaking their hands saying what can be done to reverse what Iger, DeMauro, and Walden have done. Hello, folks, and welcome back to the channel where all the news should be fun. And today, well, it is for Netflix and YouTube, but for Disney, not so much. We're going to bring you the info you need. And for the drive-bys out there, get your jumbo pencils ready because this is big. We're joined by Christian Toto. We're joined by Nat from Nat and the Guy. And we've got Chuck Dixon with Marvin too. Let's dive in, me and you. Find out what's going on. The dream to stream for Disney not coming true. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you from Mac at Now It's Known, we've got some data on Disney Plus that must be seen to be believed. It says Wall Street didn't notice until Iger left. Hashtag Disney Plus. Disney Plus and Hulu accounted for a 4.9% viewership share on US TVs in January, according to Nielsen. However, that's only marginally higher than the 4.4% combined share that those two streamers had in May of 2021. If we click on the graph, folks, take a look at this, and there's more to be seen from this. Let's talk about it. The total, you can see, this is if you combine Hulu and Disney Plus together, this is the total streaming. Now, I'm not sure when and if they began including ESPN. We're going to assume that this is just Disney Plus and Hulu in there, but it could be ESPN because that number seems to add up to what we've seen on Nielsen before. So anyway, we don't know where ESPN is landing. What we can see, however, is that they had a peak that happened, and that peak actually happened as Hulu was getting more and more popular in late 23, going into the beginning of 24. But late 2023, Hulu was on the rise. And what happened? What did Disney do? Disney decided to devour Hulu. They cannibalized Hulu, and they stuck it into Disney Plus. That, by the way, was something we revealed exclusively here on the channel, was called Project Hulk, and had been part of Bob Iger's plan all along. And what's the result? Well, take a look. This is amazing, folks. We have the data now. We can see it. The overall percentage dropped because Hulu dropped. And look at this. No pop from Disney. Wow. And then this continued. Now, Disney Plus did get, as they further integrated this, now, and this might also be having something to do with ESPN, Disney Plus did get a little lift. How much lift did Disney Plus get? 2.5% of total TV usage. And that was the apex. And then Disney Plus dropped back down. This is, by the way, when Disney said, we're going to not report this anymore. And Nielsen, we're not going to report this anymore individually. And you can see that ever since then, we have sat in stagnation. Now, Christian, the amazing thing here is it looks like that by importing Hulu into Disney Plus, all they did was mess up Hulu. They just destroyed the thing. And by the way, what does this mean? If we go to the Nielsen gauge, Christian, look over here. Disney right now with Hulu, Disney Plus, and ESPN all combined together, 4.9%. Okay. If we go back to the chart, what do we see? 4.9%. So I actually think that ESPN is hidden in this number. Okay. But taking this even farther, if we go back now to the Nielsen chart, Disney altogether is 4.9%, but look down here. Roku is at 3%. Paramount Plus is at 2.3%. Go back again to the chart. What do we see? Disney was at 2.1, 2.2. Christian, I know what they're up to. They had to combine to hide that Roku is beating Disney Plus. The flagship streamer for Disney, Bob Iger's baby, is definitively being defeated by Roku, and they had to hide it. That's the whole game plan. Christian, what do you think about this? And again, congratulations and thank you to Mac for getting this out there to us.
Yeah, it's great information. You know, listen, the streaming wars are brutal, and these channels like Roku and Pluto TV and Tubi are free, and the ad load is not bad. So that competition remains fierce. Listen, we all have a solution here. It's She-Hulk season 2. That's going to be the game changer. But until that point, They've got to figure something out. I think that Hulu was building a brand, but it didn't really quite get there. HBO Max has a sort of a luster to it, the HBO reputation. Obviously, Netflix is still the king. Hulu just never got there, and Disney Plus hasn't really delivered a hit in a while. So I think, for me, Netflix always seems to just have one new moment, whether it's Nobody Wants This or the Stranger Things or something. I feel like they put out a lot of junk, but there's always like one or two titles that kind of keeps them in the circulation that kind of, oh, it's Netflix, it's the king of the hill. And I don't think Disney or Hulu has that, and Hulu is just disappearing. And Disney really never fully established itself, and now it's being watered down. I mean, Hulu has R-rated content and all these different kinds of shows that really muddies up the Disney Plus brand. So it's just bad all around, I think.
Right. Mickey Mouse Clubhouse next to, a hard R-rated thing.
Yeah, Handmaid's Tale.
Strange thing to see. Handmaid's, yeah. Chuck, the other thing about this is the reason they had to do this, the reason they had to tie Hulu up with Disney Plus and spend, oh my gosh, it's like $30 billion to get Hulu in total, and Disney Plus cost, I think the last time we looked at it was easily north of $60 billion to build the thing and get all the content on it and make content for it. But Chuck, the reason they had to tie it together is because Marvel didn't do what they thought it was going to do, and Star Wars didn't do what they thought it was going to do. And suddenly people weren't buying this streaming service for Marvel and Star Wars shows. But that goes back to the fact that they didn't want to make the kind of shows that fans want. They wanted to insert their agendas. These studios went ideologically rogue. Chuck, what do you think about just the effect of this, that Disney really has been hobbled by the woke era of deconstructing heroes?
Yeah, well, it's just another example of Disney thinking they know it all. I mean, they have a long history of this, thinking that, well, whatever endeavor we go into, we're going to be the best at it because we're Disney. And they can't seem to disabuse themselves of this, neuroses, that they are on top of their game, and they're not, and haven't been for a long time. And of course, the woke thing hurts, and I don't see it going away.
No. So let me put it this way. When Top Gun Maverick came out, I thought that was going to be the wake-up call to Hollywood. And then it wasn't. And I am more hopeful now that Project Hail Mary, it does seem like you're seeing the trades starting to say this is the way. And you're starting to see a lot of positive emphasis on what Ryan Gosling is doing by saying it's not the audience's fault. It's our fault. We got to bring him back.
Right.
So, Nat, give me your thoughts on that. Do you think the woke era is sputtering to an end, or do you think they're just getting ready to cycle it back up again?
I've always continuously said we can't get too hopeful, because I do think they're trying to hide things all around and just keep it quiet for a while and see what happens, for example, in 2028, or when if maybe things can get more permissive again. And I think the ideology is still stuck within them. Maybe they're realizing financially it doesn't work, and audience-wise it doesn't work, and logically it doesn't work either. But I think a lot of people have it so ingrained within themselves, and it has become, because it's identity politics, it's become part of their identity. So they have to keep it going. And I am hopeful, but still kind of scared that it might just be hiding in the shadows and still within the machinations of the actual industry, unfortunately.
Always lurking. Marv, as we look at this, it doesn't seem like this made Disney Plus much healthier. Combining Hulu into it really, if we're still at 4.9, it looks like, if we're at 4.9, if you look at when the two things were combined and they stopped reporting, that would have been January of 2025. They were at 4.6. They combined these services together, and they got a 0.3 gain off of it.
Yeah, it's what they like to call in the business a nice try. But close but no cigar. I saw a statistic that in 2023, Disney saw more profit from churro sales at theme parks than they did from Disney Plus. And I don't know if it's real, but I would believe it.
Well, I'll guarantee you we made more profit off of She-Hulk than they did, because they didn't make any.
If you made $1 worth of profit, then you made more profit than they did. But it's been it's the underpants gnomes. It is from the very beginning. This has been the underpants gnomes, where it's steal underpants, profit.
Right.
We just can't tell what the middle thing is after stealing the underpants here. And that's what we're seeing with Disney. Adding Hulu to it did not do what they thought it was going to do. It did not suddenly raise the ship up out of the abyss that it's been sinking into. It's just sinking a little slower now. I think that they thought everybody was going to embrace Disney Plus by combining it with Hulu. I think honestly what's going to happen is they're all going to abandon Hulu. I mean, a good friend of ours who just hit 100,000 subscribers tells everyone at the end of every video to cancel Disney Plus, and I think that he's starting to make some ground on that.
That's right. Well, he apparently has his finger on the pulse. But Marvin, let me come back to you too for a follow up on that. So they told us don't watch. You remember that? They told us don't watch. They fired Gina Carano. Mm-hmm. They said it won't matter. They put out all of this stuff, like the Acolyte. They said this is the way Star Wars is going to be from here on out.
Yep, it's not for you.
Yeah, I'm going to say, Marv, that wasn't a great strategy.
Oh, telling half the country not to watch things? No, yeah, not their best. Bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it works out. But it's that was not Bob's brightest idea. In a career defined by bright ideas. Yeah. But yeah.
Oh, so by the way, Daredevil, when they returned Daredevil, there was a lot of goodwill, but I think that the return wasn't exactly welcome with open arms. Now it's going political. They're talking about ICE. They're making it more lecture filled. It's just a horrible decision.
Christian, did you see? I posted a thing on Geeks and Gamers about that, where like James Gandolfini's son was like, "It's so rare today to see to see a TV show or a movie actually make these points." I'm like, rare. What have you been doing, Tony Soprano? Like, I was utterly aghast at that statement.
Tony Soprano.
And then they so the whole cast is saying all these political things, like, yeah, it's politics, art imitating life. Blah. They go to Brad Windebaum and he's like, whoa, no, it's not.
Well, Christian, let me follow up on that, because what has been the show that has dominated Disney Plus? It's Marv's favorite show. It's Bluey. And what did it do? It went completely against. Oh, you love it, Marv. You love Keepy Uppy. Christian, it went completely. It's the polar opposite from what Disney was doing. Disney was into Reimagine Tomorrow. They were into all of this, put divisive stuff into kids' content, and they lucked into this. It's amazing. They licensed from the BBC a little cartoon about an Australian, dog family. No, they had no clue what it was. They just licensed it. It's just a little bit of patter, a little bit of fodder, a little bit of extra to the streaming service. It went completely against everything at Disney. It's non-controversial. It's non-divisive. It's universal storytelling. And it's like half the viewership on the streamer is a little cartoon dog, Christian. That's the way.
They just don't learn. I mean, listen, the whole thing about Stephen Colbert writing a new Lord of the Rings movie is the bubble. But it's the bubble. It's the bubble in which this whole industry works under. They don't realize that is such a toxic decision. Listen, Colbert could write the greatest script. The movie could be just a game changer. It doesn't matter. Half the country is going to say, I'm out from the jump. But they don't even see that. They don't recognize it. They don't acknowledge it. They're not aware of it. And that's what we see. What we see, you get a Gandolfini, son, opining on these issues. Like it just doesn't understand the world. And that has consequences. It really does. They don't get it.
And Colbert is writing this Lord of the Rings script with his son, who also grew up in the Hollywood system. So, I mean, that right there, it's going to... And look, to be fair, Colbert is a Tolkien fan, very well-documented Tolkien fan. But I don't think that he's going to be able to do something like this.
Well, it's
my two least favorite things. It's Stephen Colbert and Tom Bombadil.
Oh no! I didn't even think of that.
That's what it is, Chuck.
Oh no!
It's the Tom Bombadil chapters of Fellowship of the Ring.
No.
I didn't want to play it. I'll play it.
There's no sound. We're not getting audio, bro.
You're not getting what?
No audio.
No audio at all?
No.
Well, shoot. Let's fix that. Hang on. One more time.
Explaining to the folks about,
just letting you know, it was better the way I had it playing the first time.
The next Tolkien movie after Hunt for Gollum, and the fact that we've partnered up with you to develop the script. So
Yeah, I'm pretty happy about it. Should I tell people what the story is?
As much as you want. Yep.
I will, as much as I can. You know what the books mean to me and what your films mean to me. But the thing I found myself reading over and over again were the 6 chapters early on in the Fellowship that y'all never developed into the first movie back in the day. It's basically the chapter is Three's Company through Fog on the Barrow Downs. And I thought, oh, wait, maybe that could be its own story that could fit into the larger story.
Thank you for bringing this up, Kristen.
It's the Tom Bombadil chapters. They're terrible. They bring the whole book to a screeching halt.
You know, I'm going to say that in terms of how that's going to affect what we were covering with the Disney Plus stuff.
Ken Reihard goes, "Pro, we're getting audio. Fix it, please." And by the way, at a certain point, we have to have the uncomfortable conversation that Peter Jackson is now part of the problem.
It's the Star Warsification. It's the Marvelification of Lord of the Rings. They know there's one franchise left remaining that is out of the West. They'll mess up the Japanese stuff and the Korean stuff later, but right now, Lord of the Rings, they can get it. They can bring it down, and they're going to, because Stephen Colbert's coming to town.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.